Hi Leo, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity, be it in your love lives or your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Leos, the big news this month is that Mars is going retrograde on the 9th of September and it carries on being so till about 13th of November. It's happening in your house of higher minds and studies and expansion of the mind and spirituality. More about that later. Let me break up the month for you. On the 2nd, we have a full moon that is there in your house of joint finance and resources. This is also the house of sexuality and intimacy, and it is joining Neptune. So, very interesting aspect, Leos. Full moons normally tend to be very emotional because there is something coming to an end, something which is coming to fruition, something which is where we're closing the chapter. For you, because this speaks about joint finances and resources, it can be that a collaboration is coming to an end. Maybe for some of you, your partner is giving up on his or her own work and is starting on a new career journey. Because we have Neptune as well in this house, there's just a slight caution that you need to be a little careful about the contracts that you sign during this point of time. Try not to take everything on face value, Leos, during this time. It may seem too good to be true, especially as far as other people's monies are concerned. Neptune tend to bring about a lot of disillusionment. It can be that somebody could be trying to deceive you. Somebody could be trying to either manipulate you through a contract. It could be that certain things that you may not understand, and you could go right ahead and sign in good faith. On the 6th, we have Mercury that moves into your house of conversations. This is also the house of community. It also rules our siblings. And Mercury is going to bring about a lot of conversations. Maybe for some of you, this has to do with working with a sibling. Maybe some of you could just be reaching out to a sibling for his or her own opinion on the work that you're doing. Since this particular aspect also concerns the community, the place where you live in, you could be, whether you like it or not, could get involved in maybe making your place or your community a better place to be in. Maybe you could be involved in certain decision making that may have to do with the environment around where you live. On the 7th, we have Venus that moves into your own sign, and you've just had your birthday, Leos, in August, and this carries on for the later Leos as well. And Venus is going to be bringing about, a sense of what is it that I want in life. But I think more than that, the Venusian effect is going to be making you feel very good about yourself. Some of you could be going in for a lot of superficial changes as well. Could be just getting your, changing the way that you look, going in for a very drastic haircut. Some of you could just start paying attention to how you look. Maybe all along you've not worried about your weight, and this is a time that you could be feeling very strong, you could be looking good, you could be feeling good. Venus is also about money, so you could also be feeling good about your own ability to earn money and to be able to generate money. Now on the 9th, Mars goes retrograde. Now the interesting thing, and traditional astrologers often look at Mars and Venus in a very sort of a binary way, that Mars and Venus, since they rule mostly our emotions or not, and Venus has to do with our relationships, during retrogrades they tend to affect our personal lives a lot. But in this case, because it's going retrograde in your house of higher mind and learning and spirituality, and Mars being in a planet, a warrior planet, a planet of action, a planet of implementation, is not very happy sort of retracing his steps, ensuring that the contracts that you sign, especially as far as international deals are concerned, you need to be really careful. You need to be maybe getting a second opinion as far as the contract is concerned. Now, Mars retrograde also tends to bring about a lot of fragility as far as relationships are concerned. In fact, a lot of relationships do tend to break around this time. Now, again, that's a very traditional way of looking at it. The truth really is that if the relationship has been fragile for the longest of time, and if you've not been doing anything about it, irrespective of a Mars retrograde, it will suffer. However, things do tend to get a tad frustrating. You may find yourself being embroiled in some very petty arguments, or some, you could find people really bickering around you. So just try and sort of stay calm. And also, Leos, because your pride, your sense of I don't want to say I, me, and myself, but the sense of me is very strong in you. Try and not to sort of take everything personally. You know, um, I think for the next couple of months, just try and sort of lay a little low, and let people thrash out their emotions, and go about whatever that needs to get done. We also have a new moon that is there in your house of earned income and your self-worth, and this is also the time when the new moon is joining sun. So it's a lovely position mid-month, because it indicates a new opportunity for you to be generating money for yourself. For some of you, you could be giving up what you were doing earlier. Maybe some of you are collaborating with a sibling, some of you are starting up. Maybe it has to do with international partners. The person could be a friend as well. And your sense of self-worth is very strong, and sun, which is also one of your co-ruling planets, Leo, which is going to be giving you that boost that you really need. On the 23rd, we have Sun that moves into, again, your house of community, siblings, and communication. So great time to be making, having your sort of point put across. Great time to be convincing people to partnering with you. Great time to be having your say, Leos. I think a lot of times it's not, what you're saying, but it is how you're saying, Leo. So I think with the Mars retrograde over here, yet you have the new moon and the sun support almost throughout the month. I think it's a wonderful time that if there is something that you, want to start a new project, it's a great month to be doing so. We're closing the month on the 28th with Mercury that moves into your house of home. So lovely. I think a lot of conversation. Some of you could be looking at moving, maybe even town. You could, may just be thinking that, okay, I'm done living over here. I need to be moving my city. Some of you could be changing home, renting, leasing, buying, renovating. Also, because this house is ruled by Cancer, and it also concerns your mother, your parents, really. So you could be making a trip home, or you could be, some of you could be looking at having your parents come over and stay with you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Leos. I do know that last month was a bit of a challenge as far as the audio was concerned. I do hope that this month I'm audible, and it's been much clearer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next month. Stay safe.